I've been told I smoke like a poet. I stand, hold the joint between the thumb and middle and index fingers, drag slowly, breathe in through the nose and let the smoke escape slowly, coolly from between the lips, lower arm and joint to thigh level while the lungs catch their breath, post-suffocation. I've been told I smoke like a poet, but I don't do drugs for enlightening purposes. I do them strictly for the high, or to escape everything. I don't get ideas or material while stoned, no philosophy is inhaled. Only thought that arises is how cool the song is. I've been told I smoke like a poet, but I don't even write under the influence or get high while writing. I used to stressfully, frantically smoke cigarettes while writing, but I kept burning holes in the paper. I've been told I smoke like a poet, but I only smoke like a cigarette butt. Burnt out. Once heard a story about Hemingway. Lost a suitcase full of manuscripts never to be seen again. Imagine the grief of that. Like an old lover who you never let go of. Comes over for a bottle of wine, invites everyone for a kegger instead. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression. Except acceptance. She's always ruins the party. Drugs are bad. I'm not a whore. Stop touching me. We should leave now. But the kegger never stops, spinning round in your drunken brain, slow like a Ferris wheel. The ugliness of the carnival. There's always a freak show, whether it's the midget dick or carny with 7 slithering tentacles. Just the image, on the couch, his hands groping those C-cups, squeezing her tiny little ass so hard he rips the pants, and you're never too sure if something more happens. Oh, good grief, never saw them again, but grief will always comfort you with a joint and whiskey and her bitter body. Oh mama, is this really the end? Cause I don't want to be stuck in Dylan's mobile with those degenerate burnt out freaks. I don't care if it's the Memphis blues, Chicago blues, Detroit punk, or the San Francisco sound. A close friend once said, he who pretends the least feels the most. And I've got to say, that's pretty true. Lou Reed, Charles Bukowski, and Brown. Jesus Christ, deny all you want, Lord Savior, but you can't die for my sins. I didn't ask you to. I don't want to be forgiven. John Proctor in The Crucible. Memories of Daniel Day-Lewis penetrate my mind. God! I bet she longed for it like Winona Ryder. Don't ask me to forgive you. I'm not Christ, for God's sake. So I go back home, set the mood, candles, incense, Al Green. I'm so tired of being alone. And what do you know, Charlie Brown? Oh, good grief. Sweet relief. Amen, hallelujah. Anyone ever scream that when they orgasm? Could be why she was so uncomfortable when I joked about him. Dirty realism. Picture. Girl desperate for attention, numb on a couch of comfort stains. Picture. Drunk as fuck, blacked out on a pool table. Picture. Sex and drugs and rock and roll. Being dirty. Playing guitar to release the rage. Can't tell if the pick tastes metallic from the strings or the blood. We want to make art that's like a car crash, quick and painful, full of screams of agony and left wondering what the fuck happened. Overanalyze me after I'm unread, till I'm drunk and dead, turn me into Chuck or Lou. Don't know just where I'm going, but the Ferris wheel spins back. Never gonna love a woman like that again. Those C cups, the hole I tore, it wasn't me, but might as well have. No matter how distorted the image in the funhouse mirror is, it's still someone's reflection. Oh, good grief. Back again, Chuck? Brown is just Bukowski as a kid. Just needs some comfort food. So we fuck. Again and again. We drink the cheap liquor to numb. Get really high to learn what euphoria feels like. And realize grief is as good as it will get. I am the last great misogynist, the last great egoist, the last great hedonist. And like the members of my species before me, I will bury myself in a hole of lies and march with an intoxicated smile into self-extinction. And just like that, my species will be gone, without a trace, no profound legacy, only notebooks full of drunken gibberish for people who are illiterate to my language. You might run into me somewhere at the edge, trying to figure out for myself, should I follow Hunter S. Thompson, learn from experience what it is, or take his word that I'll never know what it is unless I go over. But before I decide, the drop kicks in and my mind is racing at 250 mics and half a pint of Everclear diesel to the borderline. If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear my drunken slurs, my hallucinatory laughter, and my amphetamine-laced howls. Dali may have been able to stay clean and sober because he was drugs, but I was not as fortunate. At the end of the night, knowing my trip to the void will still be rolling till tomorrow morning, I bring a woman whose face I've never seen back to my basement room in my mom's house, and as she rides my semi-lucid carcass on a mattress with no sheets on the concrete floor, I stare at myself in the mirror on the ceiling, thinking how disappointed my grandma would be. Realizing how much looking down on myself turns me off, and now I have no right to look down on the woman on top. It's tough being a self-loathing narcissist. I may only finish when I masturbate, but I still don't get hard for myself. The mirror shows how well I blend into the filth of my room. The Everclear may clean sinks, but never me. Being the gentleman I am, I walk the woman I let fuck me home, someplace I may never know. At 4 a.m, I buy liquor store pizza, cheap wine, and break into someone else's hot tub so I can feel as bubbly as the knockoff champagne, and maybe that'll up my worth, because the hallucinogens that mock euphoria, the alcohol that numbs me, and the meaningless sex that reminds me I can't have love with the lesbian I want is just an attempt to make something happen out of pure, pointless bullshit. Ask me. I can tell you from the experience there's nothing in the sex and drugs and rock and roll. So I may be the last great misogynist, last great egoist, last great hedonist, but probably not for much longer. An old dog shit me out in the yard today. That makes me a real son of a bitch. Straight from the asshole, it fits that my home is weeds. Being I came from her eating too much grass and brownies, I'm a steaming pile of dung. It's ironic cause I'm pissed all the time. Gotta burn off this stimmed up steam. Light a match, light a cig. All my friends out here are bugs. Mostly bottom feeders and flies. Maggots living off of my filth. My scum effusing around me. Women avoid me, but I still stare as they pass. I'm on the ground cause I'm a lowlife, not down to earth. And you might use me as manure to grow or fertilize plants, but I'll just grow shrooms and weeds. Attract all my scavenging friends cause I'm a good for nothing piece of shit. I can't do much of anything, but I'll be sure to leave a stain on your shoe so someone remembers I'm here. Dig into my pocket, bust out a Marlboro menthol, try to calm the nerves, my brain busting out of its seams full of these ideas, the art, these ideas, pushing at the fucking brink, my skull about to explode with these ideas, coming into existence, the birth, I'm walking, trying to buy about 2 grams, $20 out of my wallet, gone poof, up in smoke, the itch, a fucking craving, hunger, Burger King, when did I eat last? Nothing better than some grease to feel trashy, but won't pull some Robert Downey Jr. shit like give up drugs, take a drag. Can't get sick from eating trash, I don't get sick, sick gets me. Should I rob this pharmacy? Need some Benzodrix or another kind of fucking speed. Body can't keep up with my brain. Walking. More speed to match my mind. Can't slow down, only speed up. Only thing stopping me is if I get hit by a car. Crash through the windshield, out the rear view. The idea, how pop culture influences the brain. Like Warhol's, Elvis's, or Banksy's Pulp Fiction. Or fuck the time, I got no time. Guess who? What time is it? Too poor for a watch. Pause, rewind. That was a nice piece of ass. Haven't had a good body to hump in a minute. Can't just ask, hey miss, can I tap that? Gotta pretend to care. Nice dinner for a dirty fuck. Every artist known to man is a nympho. Read James Joyce's love letters. Read Ginsberg's Howl. Read shit, the time. Gotta get to the drop now, fucking now. Run 3 blocks, left 4, right down the alley. Shit, car driving after me. No cop. Can't stand the heat. Stay out of the kitchen cooking meth. I don't need this paranoia right now. I'm just minding my own business. No felonies here. Soon, but not now. Just smoking a sick shit. When did I finish it? Light another drag. Take the money, get the grass, nothing like some bud. Calm these fucking nerves, slow this fucking brain, the idea shit. Example, Marilyn Manson, Monroe, Charlie. Why do we idolize both? Who fucking knows? That's the idea. Pacing, running. Someone give me a fucking pencil. Where's some paper? God damn, I gotta write this shit down. Quick before I forget, or hand cramps up. Get high, fuck a girl, turn it into some kind of art. People often ask me who I am, and I can't find the answer. I always lose the game, fail the test. There's a reason I didn't raise my hand. I came out to this barn to get lost in the crowd because I found myself once, and that's why I prefer staying lost. Just trying to listen to some failing cover band riding someone else's coattails, living off their once meaningful nostalgic tunes like Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. Yes, I'm avoiding the question. Sitting in a chair by the bonfire, drinking wine out of a solo cup, wearing sunglasses. It's night, and the fire doesn't make it bright enough to hide my eyes, but I'm wearing them anyways. Hold your questions, it's my turn. Playing Jenga with burning logs, hope I don't collapse in, or maybe I hope I lose. It doesn't matter, because as long as I stay fucked up, I can't get sober. Pull it out log by log, piece by piece, and hope what I've built won't crash down upon me. Just stay in the moment so the future can't come. Because in all honesty, I don't know how to answer your question. I always thought I'd be a whore because marriage is a marriage to God, and religion is bullshit, someone yells to me, almost knocking this tower of burning pieces over. You know why I hate Jesus Christ? Because he had 4 fucking names. I ignore him. I'm not a whore, couldn't handle casual sex. People don't want it with me anyways. Jesus died so we'd be forgiven, but who said I'd want to be? Take out 2 logs, I'll put myself on a flaming crucifix, but as usual, I'm confused. Jesus had 4 names, what the hell is that supposed to mean? I don't know. but I like it, and that's the problem. I know when something's poetic, just don't know why. All the great artists in the world are drug addicts, so did I turn to drugs to complement my art, or art to complement my drugs? I'm worried it's the latter, and I'm just a depressed junkie who's disguised as an artist. Few people left by the fire, some drunk guy walks up next to me, begins pissing. He wobbles and sways and passes right out into the puddle. I think I'm looking in the mirror or a puddle. My Jenga bonfire is leaning and wobbling, and all these strangers around the fire are exposing my pieces for everyone to see, weakening what I've built, and I'm afraid it's all gonna come crashing down like the drunk I am. But I'm staying fucked up because it makes me feel so new, and that's what I strive for, feeling new, a treasure hunt for feeling new. I keep getting so close to the X that marks the tab, but once I swallow it, the thrill is gone. And I'm reading these books thinking there's some sort of map, but it dawns on me I can't read maps, so I always end up on the way there like it's its own destination. I'm not dreaming of ending up anywhere. No college, no job, no Jenga tower to hide in, too high on stimulants to sleep. I did dream once I had insomnia, but the doctor I saw only spoke in haiku riddles, and just like everything else, I didn't understand a word he said. But I was afraid to tell him, because I'm afraid to show my feelings, which is why I'm running through this in my head and not actually speaking. Even I can't understand my own gibberish, so why would someone else be able to if I told them? By now it's 6 in the morning. I'm waiting again to wish the sun good morning. No more beer, no more weed, no more anything to get fucked up on or buy, just enough Adderall for breakfast. I'm the last by the fire, last log in the Jenga game to be pulled, the burning tower about to collapse, and I'm not looking forward to the come down. People say to me, you're your own worst enemy, like it's a bad thing, but it's not. It's actually very good. Good in the sense that touching yourself is good. You're the only one that knows how you like it. But it's dirty, like meaningless sex with someone you hate. Good in the sense that fucking a good girl that's a little drunk and is infatuated with you is good. She'll trust you won't take advantage. Friends always see the best in you, for some reason, but the dick is always the better chess player. Good in the sense that never fixing anything is good, whether it's a computer or a relationship, except it's shit or get a new one. If it breaks once, it will break again. Good in the sense that publishing something anonymously is good. Friends try to push your work, and enemies don't think you deserve the credit, but everyone is after fame for the same reasons: drugs, money, and pussy. Good in the sense that a blackout is good. Saves energy, friends don't want you to see your shit, and only your enemies remember what you did intoxicated. Good in the sense that saying I love you is good. Friends will be so disappointed in you, sometimes they won't say it back, but you don't say it to hear it. And when it needs to be said, the disappointment is too painful to say it at all. Good in the sense that stress smoking is good. You become so calm because you know smoking will kill you, and you know you're your enemy when it doesn't kill you soon enough. Yeah, I'd say being your own worst enemy is good. You can't disappoint your enemies. They'll hate you no matter what. Friends try not to be disappointed, but eventually you'll let them down, and that's the pain that makes you hate yourself more than your enemies. tired of always feeling dead or hungover, and all I do is sit in bed all day watching some sitcom I don't even find funny. I want to be reborn so that everything I've grown bored of seems new again, and I can get some sort of ecstasy instead of used to things. I want to get so stoned all I can do is laugh my ass off at how pathetic things are, and maybe then I'll enjoy that sitcom. I want to fuck every beautiful woman so I can feel up love for a few minutes before I come to the sloppy realization that never making eye contact and fucking from behind is as meaningless and lonely as crying during my Friday night masturbation party. For once, I want to meet a girl's parents and not have to lie about my hungover death or living intoxication to avoid coming back to the reality that I belong in the alley with the drunk bum and late night prostitute that no one hires. I want to go to the movies and get thrown out for cheering for the bad guys, from Norman Bates to Frank Booth, Travis Bickle to the Bad Lieutenant, because we all need some positive affirmation in the middle of a downward spiral. I want to barricade myself at the edge with my entire drug arsenal, fry my brain with acid, rev my engine with Adderall, and reach ecstasy on Molly as I go over. I want to go to the bar and get greeted with shots like my career is town drunk and people enjoy my work. I want to get pissed drunk, stumble out at 2 in the morning, unable to find my way home. Not that I had one in the first place, so I'll just pass out in the alley where I belong, hoping the only thing I remember is the bum and prostitute giving me a standing ovation for my performance as villain in my own biopic. I don't want love. I don't want that responsibility to have to make sure someone else is okay when I'm not. I don't want to have to ask, how's your day, what are you doing, or anything like that, when frankly I don't give a shit. I don't want to talk about how I feel or get out of bed and see someone just so they can feel comforted. I don't want intimate sex that has meaning behind it. I want to fuck pompous girls so I'm not the only one rolling around in my own filth. I don't want a messy relationship that's like a rubber band, holding two people together so tightly then all of a sudden snapping and being left to face the mess I am and caused. I don't want someone concerned about my drug problem while I get fucked up today to avoid the hangover from last night. I don't want a girl asking how I could be so selfish when I hate myself. I want to have to hand out tissues every time I follow my basic Freudian self-destructive urges. I don't want someone hurt by my train wreck because they were standing too close to the crash site in an attempt to save me. I don't want someone getting the 1:34 a.m. weekday phone calls from my arresting officer. I don't want a woman to wake me up at 10 o'clock with a kiss on the forehead. I don't want to share my 12-pack or $70 a week paycheck or home at rock bottom with anybody. I don't want to know the person whose house I leave at 4 in the morning with no note or explanation, just an ashtray to dump out and a fortune in returnables to make up for never seeing me again, all because I can handle letting myself down, but I can't handle letting down someone who cares about me. I get invited to go out with people and I always tell them the same thing. I'm trying to beat this game of solitaire. And honestly, that's all I'm doing. Sitting home, playing solitaire, getting lost in the cards, red, 9, ace of spades, black, heart, and then I lose. Again, I can't win. I can never win, and people ask me how I can get so competitive at a game I play by myself, but I can't explain it. Sure, I'm a slave to the cards and I'm a slave to chance, but in solitaire it's all about me, and that's who I'm a slave to, myself. Playing cards alone gives me a chance to get so self-absorbed, and maybe if I can beat this one game of cards, I can get past myself. Sure, everyone blames the cards. They write it off as just another thing I'm addicted to. They say they're just like the drugs, the alcohol, and the women, and the cards are just another embodiment of my lack of self-control, and trying to beat myself at the game is another self-inflicted punishment like the brain damage from drugs, liver damage from drinking, and emotional damage from the meaningless sex. But maybe if I beat myself, I can beat the drugs, I can beat the liquor, I can beat the chronically beating off. If I beat the game, I beat everything. But that's not what it's about. Pack up the cards anytime. I can't pack up myself. I choose to play as an escape, to avoid connecting to people, to be with the only person that means something to me, and to be face to face with the loneliness I've dealt for myself, and constantly dealing myself these cards. The Queen of Hearts, the Ace of Spades, the Jack of Clubbing is my way of dealing with these problems, but beating this game won't beat any of these problems. Just help me deal with them. So I'm just sitting here in my solitaire solitude, living it up to the cards, leaving everything I do up to chance, leaving my life up to whatever this game deals me, and maybe I can win this game. Maybe I can beat myself instead of just beating off my pathetic attempt at life, but I know the odds of winning this game are against me. Theoretically, I have about a 70% chance of getting over all this, but I've made a few wrong moves, like the sex and drugs, so I'm looking at a 40% chance of coming out of this game alive. If I can just stop dealing myself those black hearts and acid. It hit me the other day in the basement of a house at the end of the dead end of a side street belonging to fuck if I know. It hit me harder than a shot of 153 proof gasoline trickling into my engine, harder than inhaling half a gram of Purple Yard clippings, harder than Suicide Tuesday after a weekend of tonguing a girl named Molly. It hit me at midnight in that basement, doing absolutely nothing but sitting in a chair in the corner alone, 11 beers in, and I realized I felt absolutely nothing. I was clean and sober no matter how much I drank. I inhaled, snorted, or swallowed. I felt nothing. Couldn't feel a damn thing. Drank 11 cans of piss and I was feeling the same amount of nothing I felt on any given weekday. Normally I could go numb, bottle it all into a bottle of ethanol, but this time nothing would drown, and all at once it hit me. To feel anything hit me. The desire to fuck every beautiful woman I saw hit me. Realizing that meaningless sex was degrading to someone else's special someone hit me. The hole I was digging to China as a symbol of hopeless love for my girlfriend just left me in a hole hit me. Never being able to dig that hole for the broken lesbian I actually love hit me. Learning I would never be the mysterious prophet, drunken poet with no past, just a joke for the audience to beat off to hit me. Playing blackjack blackjack, gambling my life with my high card in hand, hit me. Endlessly doing Sudoku puzzles all night as if winning those will solve my puzzled mind, hit me. The allure of my green torchlight not representing greed, lust, or other unobtainable dreams, but my obtainable desire for home, if only I reach out for it, hit me. Nothing in space and time in the whole damn continuum could make me feel anything again, hit me. And as I sat in that corner, looking up from my hole at the piece of ass passed out in front of me, lighting a cigarette, putting a 6 and 9 in the wrong boxes, wondering if I'd find my green porch light tonight, hoping I might feel the numbness of intoxication again instead of nothing. Cracking my 12 can, it hit me. If I can't feel, maybe my liver could. It was about 11 o'clock on the night before my senior year final exams began. Coming off of an acid trip, having just pissed away my chances with the most perfect girl, burned every bridge that got me the hell away from here, neither of which were done for any good reason. Just about to hit the black hole rock bottom of an abyss at the end of a downward spiral that I found my piss was the most disgusting shade of murky dark yellow. And I stared at myself for a second in the perfect reflection of all I was and would ever be, and then watched as I was flushed away, spiral down further, leaving the beautiful white porcelain, and damn, nothing ever looked so beautiful in my bowl, no matter what I was smoking. 'Cause seeing all the filth I had let build up inside of me, the drugs and alcohol, self-loathing, sex, narcissism, over-analysis of poetry and life, the whole load of overly romanticized shit get flushed out of my body as piss, then flushed away forever, gone to some other spiral, leading to some other abyss, leading to some other rock bottom, black hole, in some other galaxy, leaving just a new, blank, clean, white bowl, almost made it seem like I could turn over a new leaf too. But it was only for a second before I realized it was just more over-analysis in my fucked up life of getting fucked up. You can't turn piss into beauty no matter what filth flushes away. It's still just a toilet. And this was the realization that settled in me after the experience, like the pulp settling at the bottom of the stale beer I drank for breakfast the next morning. Vegetables. I've never been a fan personally. If it's good for me, it's not worth my time. I hope that's not cliche, or as you might say, a bit corny. 'Cause corn is in everything. Pretty much every ingredient comes from corn. Especially alcohol. They tried to convince me to convert my ethanol to power my car instead of gas, because it's greener. But I use ethanol to power me, And I'm green. Pot green. And who needs gas when you have cola and amphetamines? An apple a day keeps the doctor away, but copious amounts of acid keeps the sleep away and makes the nightmares real. So I can live in the terror of trying to scarf down vegetables as a last-ditch attempt to stay healthy and alive. Life may be shit, but I want to live. I want to fucking live. But they always smell like cottage cheese and sweat. Oh wait, that's me. Because I haven't slept in almost a week. And even though I'm eating my vegetables now, I'll run out of them, like my ethanol power, amphetamine, gasoline, and crash like Brian Wilson when he dropped while making the Smile Sessions song, Vege-Tables. And I'll wake up, I'll wipe the slugs off my face, and I'll start my day new. Brand spanking new. Glowing in the slime of the slugs, rocking in the fetal position, and I'll be singing, I'm gonna round my vegetables, I'm gonna chow down my vegetables, I love you most of all, my favorite vegetables. Pull out of the parking lot of some bar at the outskirts, border of city and suburbs, the only place that willingly sells to minors. I'm trying to find my way home, one hand on the wheel, the other holding up my head, and damn is it heavy. Put on some music to drown out the headache, the way the liquor drowns my feelings. Billy Joel's The Stranger, and for some reason the saxophone music sounds better in the rain. It's a typical Saturday morning, and the hangovers don't get enough credit for being so shitty. I don't even know if I'll find my way home. The green porch light always lures me back in during intoxicated nights, but it won't be on during the day. And the hangover means I won't have triple vision in case I miss it the first time. Some people see beauty in green, but all I see is scum rolled into a Bible page too poor for zigzags, green buds blooming into smoke clouds, inhaling the filth. The grass is always greener on the other side, but the borderline is more romantic when its pavement isn't rushing at you in tunnel vision with 7 vapor trails on 8.5 milligrams of Xanax. My green porch light is so far from the green buds of my home at the borderline. Wake up here every morning when the bars are closed, plants have stopped growing, and no amount of Advil can make the hangover go away. I was told to prevent this, drink a lot of water. I'm sure wine or whiskey or beer's chemicals formulas have H2O in it somewhere, but I failed chemistry. So I ended up at the borderline with no passport or photo ID to cross over or turn back around, but I'd rather stay in purgatory than burn in a lake of fireball or fly high without the use of any sort of drugs. But I guess that's not my choice. Fatalism, things work out how they will. Is it optimistic in thinking that things turn out the right way, or cynical in thinking I can't control going to the bar or Italian restaurant, Vienna or the borderline, hell or heaven? But I guess it's a good thing to die young. I mean, kill the buds before they grow to get high. Ironic how well the karma works on that. I'm sure the angels are beautiful in heaven, but angel is the name I saw on the back page ads of the Metro Times, and they make it look like the sex is hotter in hell. I keep that in mind when I turn down sex with my girlfriend and head to the bar alone, making eye contact with every other part of a woman except their eyes, then head back to my Friday night masturbation party of 1, realizing that I prefer foreplay and masturbation because it's more intimate, and that's why I only fuck women from behind, never making eye contact. And as my self-loathing self-love finishes, I wonder if the lesbian I love has as nice of a body as the women in the lake of fireball, because I can only make eye contact with her, and now I understand the appeal of lesbian porn. Finally, I realize I'm home at the borderline, having cigarettes and Irish coffee, seeing my reflection in the dark bitterness, and damn, the Metro Times doesn't have a Sudoku puzzle. As if solving that right for once would figure out if I can leave the border and be sent somewhere where the devil may care about me. But hey, fatalism, I told you. Saturday morning hangovers don't get enough credit for being so shitty. The saxophone music doesn't drown out the thoughts, but at least it sounds better in the rain. It's bright and sunny out this morning, but the saxophone sounds like raindrops. To me, anyways. I see, fading through the smoke of my cigarette, the women I've fucked and left empty. The women I've wanted to, and even the women I've wanted to but respected too much to let myself ruin them. I see out the passenger window the dead-end alleys of the one-way in forgotten side streets, the blue and red lights, the empty beer bottles and cigarette butts I wish I left while I'm strung out in the car looking for another fix or drop or at least one more Camel Turkish Gold. And honestly, I'm left unfazed. I could burn myself with the roach, then swallow it whole while it's lit, or smoke a whole pack of cigarettes in less than an hour to make myself puke up something, anything of real substance, but I get nothing. But at the end of it all, when the drugs wear off and the women leave, there's nothing else I'd rather waste my time with. At least this way, there's material for the paper plate award getting thrown into the fireplace, sprawling from the cigarette I'm smoking now, enveloping my grimy basement room, turning my habitat into the hell I've created for myself. People often ask me, since I have such great talent at writing, why I let them go to waste by writing about getting fucked up. And I tell them, you write what you know. People often ask me how I live with myself when my work glorifies sex and drugs and rock and roll. And I tell them, it's tough living with me, but you can't glorify the shittiest lifestyle. People often ask me why I don't move on, give my life purpose, if I know it's shit. And I tell them, it's easier to choose substances over a life with substance. And I know I could write these things with deeper meanings. I know my warnings of fucking while fucked up are misconstrued for glorifying degeneracy. And I know that I could give it all up and get the glory and respect, but I won't. I know somewhere the angels are screaming at me, trying to show me there's room on top. But I'm on the bottom of some woman, the bottom of a lake of fireball.